would use language apps like translation apps to be able to talk to my parents, right?
Oh yeah, what's that like?
It's a little annoying. I get frustrated, but it's also really useful. It's really helpful, right? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if I wanted to talk to my parents, I couldn't, like for some words, I couldn't convey the information.
In English, or you spoke in
German, Chinese.
You spoke in Chinese?
Yeah.
And you didn't have enough of the Chinese to be able to communicate what you wanted?
No,
so
still not.
It's one thing to talk to somebody on the street, but your parents, how do you make it work?
For a lot of topics, we would just not talk about it. And for other things, I would just refer to like a concept or a word and then look it up on the translator, and then I would say, oh, so this is what I do. If they ask me, yeah, so what is it that you study or work or whatever? And I would say, oh yeah, it's this thing. Okay. You see this?
So you have essentially a limited form of relating to them, and not just communicating, but because you can't communicate, therefore you can't really relate to you. I think you said something also, you can't connect with them on a emotional level or on a deeper level? Because
on a deeper level. And emotionally, I think that's just, for example, my father's just never learned it himself. His dad died when he was really young in a car accident. Also in the Chinese culture, it's not something that is being shown or in the mind of many people, that to deal with emotions, show them, have them, communicate them. I think that's a different topic, but of course it doesn't help if you also do not speak the same language on the same level.
So what is it like for you as somebody who grew up in this kind of situation where you don't have the same language as your parents? Do you just learn to rely on yourself for things? Do you have siblings? How do you grow up?
Yeah, I don't have siblings. I'm probably more self-reliant because at some point I realized my parents cannot help me with stuff, like just practical stuff.
Yeah, literally.
And they can't help me with it, so I have to do it myself. Like there's no one else, like other family here, so there's only me. I wasn't even aware that it's so different. For me, it just was a way of growing up and learning how to navigate this world. I was like, I have to do it like this. Yeah, they came to me for help, for answering letters or like translating stuff or like figuring out how something works in this society. So they would come to me when I was like 12, 13, 14 and ask me to read a letter from their lawyer or whatever. And I guess that's ingrained is that there's me who has to solve things, and it's also fine. I think it's fine to a certain degree, and it's also something that's really useful. Also, the sense of self was probably much more pronounced or developed earlier or developed more strongly because all those examples showed me, oh, they are not like me because they are not doing this. Of course, they did a lot of different things and a lot of things that I could never do. But for those things, I just probably observed and learned that, okay, then this is me, they are there, they can do this, but I can do this. And this created probably this sense of self that I developed in a different way or like earlier than other people.